Oh man, we coming on the air like that. I don't know why every time I come on this motherfucker, man, my voice is cracking and I got a cough and I got mucus in my throat and shit, man. I don't know why. I don't get it. But I appreciate y'all for joining me. So, yo, somebody left a comment under the last podcast, and I really don't think Buddy watched a lick of the video or listened to any of the podcasts. I think he just saw a picture and saw the name of the video and instantly commented. And that's just crazy. Motherfuckers can really comment on something without watching any of the video. This man came at me because I think he thought I was going at Justin Herbert. I didn't go at any of those young quarterbacks in that video, big dog. Every quarterback that I mentioned in that video, I had their back. Trust me. You didn't watch the video, bro. You didn't watch the video. But, hey, man, I love football. I still love football. What's good with it, man? I know it's late. Well, it's not really late because the Thursday night game haven't even happened yet, and I'm going to have this up before the Thursday night game. Probably could have had it up yesterday or last night, but I wanted to take a deeper dive into some of these games, man, because I didn't watch as many games this week as I could have. So I had to refresh myself with some of these games. I watched I watched Cincinnati and the Chargers, and for some reason I forgot the fucking game after I watched it. I don't know what the fuck went on. I had to watch that game 2 times. Like, I had to watch that full game twice. Because for some reason I watched the entire game and could not remember the entire game. It was absolutely wild. So I had to actually go back and rewatch the game. But that's not the game we starting with. And yeah, I know what we do this on this podcast every single week. We gonna break down the games, what we saw. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, it's some games. Matter of fact, let's start off with the games that I'm not probably gonna break down. I'm not gonna break down Philly, and the Jets. I might talk about them eventually in different things, but I can't break down that game because Gardner Minshew started. He went 20 for 25, good game for Philly. They did what they were supposed to do. They ended up winning 33-18. Gardner Minshew had these type of games, bro. Like, I need to really go check his stats and see what was the average yards he threw for. I think it said 9 or 6. It was either way. Gardner Minshew done had this game before. This game is not fooling me. It's not changing my opinion on Gardner Minshew. But Philly did take that win 33-18. And it was another game that I did not have no interest in watching. What was it? Oh, yeah. The Dolphins game. Which is crazy. Nope, I'm actually going to come back to the Dolphins game because I actually did watch that game. I'm going to come back to that one. The other game that I didn't feel like watching was that Washington-Vegas one, and I ended up rewatching half of that game. So the only game on this schedule that I just didn't have absolutely no interest in watching was Philly Jets, because even though I like Zach Wilson, I want to see Zach Wilson's development. It's certain defenses that when he play against them, I just got this feeling he just not gonna. And it's not just because of Zach Wilson right now. I mean, he is a rookie, but I don't think the offensive coordinators or the offensive play calling for the Jets has been good this season. I haven't really talked about the Jets' offensive play calling this year. But yeah, they offensive play calling not really good. So, yeah, and I like Philly's defense against certain opponents, bro. I know Philly's defense don't get a shit ton of love, and you don't hear about them on the national media and shit like that all the time. But Philly's defense is pretty good against these bad teams and against bad quarterbacks sometimes, bro. Well, a lot of the times. So Philly getting that 33-18. And listen, people, people say what they want to about Nick Sirianni, man. All I know is this is a pretty decent year for a team that don't even know what they really have at quarterback, who don't know if Jalen Hurts is their quarterback. This game you had to play with Gardner Minshew. Like, hey, you can say what you want to. Dan Campbell over there was losing games, and they got their first win, so we're going to talk about that today. But, I mean, you look at a team like, you look at Dan Quinn. Not Dan Quinn. Dan Campbell. Not Dan Quinn. You look at Dan Campbell, the head coach for the Lions. it was games that we thought the Lions probably could have won this year before we knew exactly how bad they was, and they didn't win them. So shout out to Nick Sirianni, man. That it might have looked like a crazy coaching hire in the beginning. It still might be a crazy coaching hire. But hey, they winning games, bro. And if they could just, I don't think they're gonna win that division. I done said it already. Dallas is winning that division, but let's say Dallas somehow plateau, fall face forward, and just start losing game after game. Hey, Philly won't regret winning these games. That's all I'm gonna say. But no Jalen Hurts. It was gonna be rough for me to watch this game, just because I knew Gardner Minshew. I know what Gardner Minshew is, and I know a lot of people like Gardner Minshew. He is a character, but yeah, it was no shot. But we're going to start off with the Cardinals and the Bears. The Cardinals won this game 33-22 on the road. Matt Nagy, the fire Matt Nagy continues. But we'll get to that in a minute because I want to talk about this fucking Cardinals team. So Kyler Murray basically just missed the last month with an injury. And if you watch this game, you would not be able to tell that Kyler Murray just missed the last month with an injury. If you didn't know that he missed the last month, like if you paid no attention to football, and you just randomly watched this game, you wouldn't think that Kyler Murray had been out the last couple weeks because they used him just like they used him before the injury. I mean, he still was running around a lot, plays broke down, and he still took off. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, and he had a decent game. Kyler Murray, this is what I like about Kyler Murray, bro. Kyler Murray had this unique ability to where, even though I don't think he is as elusive as Lamar Jackson, he more he more decisive when he want to run. So Lamar Jackson is a pocket quarterback who like to operate from the pocket, but sometimes it is, and I know he don't want to become he always running with the ball, you know. People think that shit anyway, so fuck it. You know what I'm saying? That's not bothering Kyler. When sometimes Lamar indecisive when he want to take off, you know what I'm saying, and he decide too late. Kyler Murray, man, it's almost instant. When that motherfucker decide I'm taking off, bruh, that ball is tucked and he take off, bruh. And his little ass, now Kyler do got to get rid of this when he runs. Sometimes he hold the ball out wide with one hand. He do got to get out of that. I see him do that sometimes. But when Kyler Murray decide he about to take off, that motherfucker takes off. And I respect that. Like, I don't like that he ran and was hit so much in this game because it's the same thing with Lamar. I love Kyler Murray and Lamar. I think they franchise quarterbacks, game changers. I didn't mention Kyler in my last video because Kyler's been hurt. But I think he and Kyler are game changers. I believe that if they continue to take, like I told you, I saw a stat in one game where Lamar had already taken 14 hits off of carrying and getting tackled, getting sacked, and getting hit. Like, Kyler Murray the same way. They take way too many hits early in the game and throughout the duration of these games. And when you accumulate all the hits that they take at the end of the season, you just don't want your quarterback getting hit that much. So I agree you don't want to take away their legs and what make them special, even though both of them can throw the ball. And this motherfucker Kyler, like, I think Lamar can throw. I'm not taking a shot at Lamar's throwing at all. That's my quarterback. Not taking a shot at Lamar Jackson. I done seen Lamar make multiple dimes. But this motherfucker Kyler, and obviously you got to give a lot of the credit also to D-Hop. Because D-Hop be making some fucking catches, dog. But that's exactly what I'm saying. Bruh. The D-Hop and Kyler Murray connection, that shit is ridiculous, bro. Some of the throws, like, it's to the, you know who it remind me of? It remind me of Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett, bro. And I told you I was never gonna forget Tyler Lockett's name again after I had forgot it that one episode, bro. Because I fuck with Tyler Lockett heavy, bro. Like, I think Tyler Lockett one of the most underrated receivers in the NFL, bro. Now, he had a rough game with a couple drops and whatnot, but he came back strong with after that drop in that game yesterday. But listen, that's what they connection remind me of. Like, Russell Wilson hit some of the most disgusting, dead pinpoint accurate throws to Tyler Lockett, it seemed like, religiously. Like, every time he make a sharp tightrope type throw or a big deep in the bucket type of throw or some contested throw in the end zone that he just put on the line, it seemed like Tyler Lockett always the dude at the end of the reception. That's about what D-Hop and K Murray is, young baby Yoda. That's what Kyler Murray and D-Hop is at this point, bro. And this is what I'm saying when I said that the throw at the end of the game that everybody done been conditioned to say is a bad throw by Lamar, when he got a defender in his face and TJ Watt, and every fucking offensive lineman on the play is on their back for the Ravens, and all the people for the Pittsburgh's defensive line is standing up coming at Lamar. For everybody who's saying that was, oh, that's a bad throw. It's like I said, bro. Marcellus said it yesterday. Bruh need to learn how to flip his hips, but he a tight end, so he don't know how to flip his hips like a receiver. Because I see receivers make that exact grab where that ball was placed all the time. It's in his outstretched arm, bro. In his hands. Like, he touches the entire. It's no excuse for him dropping that pass. I'm tired of hearing it, bro. If the dude keep trying to make one-handed catches, then he actually need to make the one-handed catches. He made a tougher catch last week. That can require more focus, more concentration on a 50-50 ball. That ball was higher than 50-50. So you can give Lamar Jackson, you can blame Lamar for all you want to, and you can give Mark Andrews all the excuses in the world. Cool. I don't care. I already think people's hate for Lamar and trust in Mark Andrews is completely misplaced in one side, because I'm just telling you right now, you can tell me right now that Mark Andrews can go on any team and be great. Sure, I want to see it because Mark Andrews, you could keep blaming Lamar for all of Mark Andrews' problems, when actually I think one of Mark Andrews' biggest problems is Greg Roman. And the fact that Greg Roman is just not conducive to him. And I always say how Greg Roman is not conducive to this offense anymore. How he is not working with Lamar and these dudes anymore. He is working against them at this point. Well, I should have mentioned how he works against Mark Andrews at this point. Because if Mark Andrews had an Eric Bieniemy or fucking Kevin Stefanski or any offensive coordinator that didn't just know how to put runs together, but also knew how to get tight ends and other receivers open, Mark Andrews would probably be better than he is right now. However, Lamar Jackson would be 10 times better than he is right now. To think that Lamar Jackson is the problem and not Mark Andrews at times, that's just wild. And the reason I say that is because look at some of the throws that Kyler Murray had in this game. Since you want to act like quarterbacks have to be dead accurate all the time, look at that touchdown throw to D-Hop. Now, I say that was a dime. A lot of people could say that's not an accurate throw. That's D-Hop making a great throw. A great catch, because he knew how to flip his hips, still track the ball, and get his hands on it. And you notice how D-Hop don't always try to go up with one hand? Do y'all notice that? Do you notice how the best receiver in the NFL goes up with two hands most of the time? I'm just curious, do anybody realize that? Because I see these fucking tight ends go up with one hand or try to make one hand grabs all the time. I'm seeing these receivers who ain't D-Hop trying to make one hand grabs all the time. I don't understand it, bro. Because for one, if the ball is truly uncatchable to you, I don't understand why you is going with one hand if you can't just do it with two hands. If you can try it with one, you can try it with two. I don't understand it. D-Hop religiously put two hands out to try to make catches, bruh. Now, sometimes, yeah, he make a one-handed catch. But it's not because he just one-handed it all the time. Like, every time he see a pass thrown, one-hand catch for me. No. I think Odell had a problem with that at one point in time when he was trying to one-hand catch everything instead of just using two hands, bro. It was another player like that, too. I don't think it was Jimmy Graham. It was another player, bro, who had 1 year where they just went stupid with trying to go one-hand everything, bro. And every game it felt like an announcer was like, come on, man, use two hands. It even was like, I felt like it was like even talked about that year. I cannot remember who that player is. But that's all I'm saying, bro. Look at the difference. And I know some people going to be like, well, D-Hop is a receiver and Mark Andrews is a tight end. Bro, but y'all treat these tight ends and talk about them like they fucking receivers and shit. Listen, I already don't think that I think Mark Andrews is a stud. I do not think Mark Andrews is better than George Kittle, who we're going to talk about in a minute. I don't think he's better than Travis Kelce, obviously. But I do think you could put him in that next category, tight ends. However, I would take Darren Waller over Mark Andrews. Because, these top tight ends, in my opinion, they are damn near receivers. You can line them up outside. They line fucking Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and Darren Waller up outside, bro. And George Kittle, probably the one who get lined up outside the least, and that's because he's a phenomenal run blocker. But those three dudes, they catch like receivers, bro. Like, they know how to flip their hips. Their hands is stupid solid. Like, bro, I don't think Mark Andrews is that. I think Mark Andrews is a great tight end. I think he great. He make a lot of dope catches here and there. But he made that one-handed catch with Huntley in that Bears game, and the motherfucker been trying to one-hand everything since. It's like he don't even fucking make attempts to make two hands sometimes. It's just he already done made that he finna make a big play. He finna make a highlight. And I just don't understand that shit at this moment, bro. But I say all that. I'm not hating on Mark Andrews either, bro. That's my guy. That's my tight end. I want him to keep getting better, but I also want him to try to use two fucking hands. And I also don't like that he get, they just let Mark Andrews. I have yet to see any sports show talk about Mark Andrews outside of him being a good tight end or whatever. I never see them critique his mistakes and shit. I done seen fucking teams, ESPN and these motherfucking networks talk about Travis Kelce and how he is not helping Pat Mahomes or how he's struggling and shit like that. I never see that about Mark Andrews. And if you really looked at some of these Mark Andrews, and listen, man, I know if I feel the way I feel about a tight end, then I shouldn't even be feeling like Mark Andrews is could be this much of a problem. But on contrary, my friend, I'm saying that I don't think he should get that much credit that y'all giving him. Every time the motherfucker make a catch, it make it seem like he threw the ball to himself. This is crazy. And then when anything went go wrong, it's like, oh, Lamar threw it. I'm like, what? It's very strange, bruh. And I just think if you go watch them other tight ends, and Darren Waller is a tight end that's being held back right now, bro. We're going to talk about him in a minute, too. Or his team, bro. Because, boy, what the fuck has happened to the Raiders? But let's get back to this Cardinals game. I just wanted to say all that basically. I'm celebrating Kyler Murray and D-Hop's connection. But I wasn't trying to shit on my boy Mark Andrews. But D-Hop and Kyler Murray's connection is just stupid. Like I said, it's getting to the point where it's like, every week they're going to make some just ridiculous type of throw and catch, bro. Every week. And then, I'm telling you, bro, I don't know if it's funny because I was going to say, I don't know if it's a defender who can get this motherfucker Kyler Murray when he run into the edge. Let me change that. I don't know if it's a defender that can chase this motherfucker down when he run into the edge in the red zone. Because the defender actually did chase him down when he was running to the edge today. And he took a hit when I saw his head pop the ground when he slid or when he had got tripped up. But back to that, bro. Man, Kyler Murray took a lot of hits. He ran a lot. He protected himself as well as he could. But good Lord have mercy. He just came back from injury, bro. And listen, I understand you don't want to, just because he got hurt, you don't want to be like, oh, well, we can't play like this. No, and I get that. But, man, and shout out to James Conner real fast before I forget why that thought was in my head. This motherfucker had a resurgence, bro. This dude I think he got like 25 touchdowns on the season. Man, this motherfucker is approaching doubling his production in 2 years, in 1 year. And this motherfucker finna have a better year in Arizona than his last 2 years in Pittsburgh combined, probably, bro. This shit is insane. Yo, shout out to James Conner, bro. This is crazy. Because I didn't think James Conner was as bad as he played in Pittsburgh. I did think Pittsburgh offensive line was getting kind of old. And Pittsburgh really wasn't good at running the ball after Le'Veon Bell. And Ben was getting older. Offensive play calling really didn't change from the time they had AB and them boys to when they had these dudes. So I felt like James Conner was all. Plus, he was playing in the shadow of Le'Veon Bell. So people was expecting him to be better than Le'Veon Bell. Especially since they was starting to hate Le'Veon Bell because he held out and now he was gone. So people wanted him to be something that he wasn't ready to be yet. Or maybe he'll never be a Le'Veon Bell. But he clearly a damn great running back and player because he balling the fuck out for Arizona. And I'm telling you, Pittsburgh could use them touchdowns right now. And that ain't no shot at Pittsburgh. I'm just saying Pittsburgh could, any team could use 20-something plus touchdowns from one player. Also, since we talking about running backs, bro, Montgomery for the fucking Bears, this dude is a stud to me, bro. Like, maybe I'm tripping. I'm gonna say this dude's a great player with stud potential. Every time I watch the Bears and I see Bears highlights, it's Montgomery. Like, Montgomery is an absolute stud, bro. Well, let me change it again. He's an absolute great player with stud potential. Like, I think Montgomery gonna be, bro, I think he might end up in a situation where, now one or two things could happen. Because I think he could end up, if I don't know if he a free agent coming up or whatnot, but let's say he is. I could see him going to a team that actually knows how to use him and will use him consistently and going nuts. Like, bro, if he was Tom Brady's running back right now, and I'm not petitioning for playoff Lenny to leave and nothing like that, but I'm just saying, I know what a running back like him could do for, because the thing about Montgomery is he can catch and actually run. I just don't think he get a lot of credit or recognition because he playing Chicago. And the only player really should be, the only thing that should get recognition in Chicago at the moment is what the fucking head coach Matt Nagy, the GM. I swear I think the GM's name is Ryan Pace, but I could be tripping. And the young stud, young GOAT over there, Justin Fields. But bro, David Montgomery is stud. I like that motherfucker. I think he could, but you know, and I said one or two things could happen. So I think he could end up going to a team that actually use him more. Like, bro, it's so many teams I could see him on right now where he would actually, bruh, could you imagine him on the Saints? Sean Payton would use him to death like he used Kamara. Or fucking, like I said, the Bucks. Or the Patriots. Bro, David Montgomery got to get to a better team, bro. He got to stop wasting his best years in Chicago, bro. And I got a lot of faith in Justin Fields because that's the second part. If he there next year and Justin Fields blow, then, hey, you got yourself a running back. Because I think Montgomery can be a 3-down running back. I don't care about his size. The motherfucker's Ray Rice was a small running back who was very elusive, knew how to make people miss, could run through the tackles, around the tackles, and could catch out of the backfield. Ray Rice is a forgotten GOAT. I understand why, but, you know. But yeah, David Montgomery, bro. That motherfucker is a stud to me, bro. Well, I keep doing it. That motherfucker, David Montgomery, is a great player to me with stud potential. Like, it's just like every time I see the fucking Chicago, and anytime it feel like Chicago down and they getting back into a game, it feel like David Montgomery always got, you know, his hands in that play, or he a big reason why they coming back in the game. So I fuck with him, bro. I really think maybe Chicago should keep him. Maybe Chicago is keeping him. I don't know. I'm just saying Chicago should definitely keep him there with Justin Fields. Now, Andy Dalton started in this game, and Andy Dalton had 4 interceptions in this game. And when Andy Dalton. Now, I'm not going to get on here and disrespect Andy Dalton. I got a lot of respect for Andy Dalton. I hope y'all didn't think I was going to come on here and blast Andy Dalton. Got a lot of respect for that old dog, the gingerhead GOAT. See, Andy Dalton was a Cincinnati Bengal for many years. I saw him lift that franchise up with the help of a lot of other players. It wasn't just him. But he played his role to a T, and there was even times when Andy Dalton played bigger than he was expected to play. So I got a lot of respect for Andy Dalton. I'm not finna get on here and disrespect Andy Dalton. I understand Andy Dalton is not the same quarterback that he used to be. I understand Andy Dalton is not the same player that he used to be. But like I said, I like Andy Dalton. I got a lot of respect for Andy Dalton. Him and A.J. Green tortured the Ravens for years. So Andy Dalton earned my respect multiple times over. So I'm not going to get on here and disrespect Andy Dalton. He did throw 4 interceptions, and we can't have that. And 2 of them was his fault. 2 of them I would put on him. The other 2 was just, one of them by the fucking tight end who basically fell on the ground, and then the ball came up. Like, that was wild. I think that was that game where that shit happened. I think this was the game where the fucking offensive, bro, what was this dude's name? Zach Allen, I think. Was his dude's name Zach Allen? I think the defensive lineman who picked Andy Dalton off with one hand was named Zach Allen, bro. And this motherfucker, legit, it was almost like that interception that Buddy threw last week, where he threw the shit right to the offensive lineman. Maybe that shit happened this week too. Good Lord, I'm starting to combine weeks. What? Damn, man. What team, bro? Who was it who had an interception? It was a defensive lineman, bro, either this week or last week. And I'm not talking about Allen. It was a different defensive lineman. He had an interception, and the motherfucker basically threw it right to him, bro. I'm trying to think. Tom Brady did that shit today. Sunday too, but I'm not talking about him either. It'll probably come to me. But bro had a one-handed interception, but that bit was clean. That's all I'm saying. Man, I'm trying. I can see the player and I can see the play in my head. I just can't see his jersey and the team. That's what's crazy. Man, that's gonna bother me. But the Cardinals, and then the Bears deal with a lot of third and longs. I want to say that too, bro. Like when I was watching this game, I was thinking to myself, like, man, the Bears get into a lot of third and long situations, and that's because, I think I've already talked about how I think Matt Nagy is not the offensive coordinator or the offensive mind people think he is. Now, obviously, I done hammered it home for Sean Payton and, the dude over there, Josh McDaniels, and some other dudes a little bit heavier. But let me make sure y'all know where I stand with this. Because, for one, I'm not blaming Andy Dalton for them 4 interceptions. That's just not going to happen. Like, y'all really learning how much respect I got for Andy Dalton right now. Because I'm only putting 2 of them shits on him. And like I said, you know what Andy Dalton is. And, go look at the stats. It's just not a great game call anyways. Because, yes, the Cardinals have a good defense. And the Bears, Andy Dalton took a lot of sacks in this game. Listen, the Bears got a lot more going on that's fucking them up than Andy Dalton. I'm going to just say that. The 4 interceptions don't help, but it's a lot more that's hurting this motherfucking team than Andy Dalton. Because you know what Andy Dalton is at this point in time in his career. And I think Andy Dalton is he could be a productive backup for the rest of his career. But the game plan, bro, you looking at a motherfucker who completing a whole bunch of passes for not even 200 yards at this point. Like, anytime you see quarterbacks start getting into the point where they completing double-digit pass attempts, but they haven't even hit the 200, they haven't even hit the 150-yard mark yet. Then you know it's a lot of dinking and dunking going on and a lot of tackles being made up front by the defense, stopping it. And that's basically what you get into, and you hope a big play happen here and there, but you're not really drawing up the big play or working towards the big play. You're just hoping the big play happen. And that's a problem with a lot of these offensive coordinators. Like Greg Roman, Lamar Jackson. I saw Dominique Foxworth say Lamar Jackson is a home run hitter. I don't necessarily agree with that because I think you could say the same thing about Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen if that's what you're saying. I think Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson is more similar than people really think. And if these analysts really sat down, did their homework, watched these games, I think they would realize, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and Lamar ain't that much of different quarterbacks. Yeah, Lamar might be the best as far as elusivity. All these motherfuckers can run and pick up first downs, though, and be electric with their legs. Patrick Mahomes might throw the best ball out of all of them. All of these motherfuckers can pick apart a defense when they at their apex and when they own. Like Josh Allen might be the one that, and I saw somebody disrespect Josh. I'm gonna get to that when I get to Josh Allen. But I see a lot. I've been seeing a lot of the Josh Allen disrespect happening. Either way, to me, them 3 quarterbacks are more similar than people really think. But I'm the Bears. When I'm thinking about Matt Nagy and his offensive play calling, bro, a lot of these coordinators, like we were saying, the home run ball, these dudes is Lamar and Patrick and Kyler and what's my boy name? Josh Allen. They like to hit the deep ball. They like to go deep down the field and whatnot. But that don't mean that you can't fucking help them with the play calling and get other things open and shit like. And I notice that every time, like you can see a whole game, right? You could watch a whole fucking 3-4 hour game, and the quarterback can miss a dude that's wide open probably once or twice the entire game, and that'll be heavily spotlighted, right? Because those was the 2 times that the offensive coordinator drew up great plays that actually got somebody open. And then they'll be looked at as heroes. You won't hear nothing else about it. But the quarterback through however many plays he ran that day, missed those 2 reads, probably because somebody in his face. Anything could have been happening for him not to see them 2 reads. And now he just a bad quarterback. He inaccurate. He don't read the field great. It's absolutely unbelievable, bro. But hey, that's today's fandom and media. So can't really be surprised by that at all. But yeah, bro, I don't think Matt Nagy gonna be there at the end of the season, so it really don't matter at the end of the day. I think Matt Nagy's getting fired at the end of the season. I think they're gonna start a whole new. I think the Bears are gonna start fresh. Now, when they hit the restart button with Justin Fields to basically build around him, I hope, like I said, they don't get rid of Montgomery. But before I get off of this game, and Andy Dalton, you just gotta throw away this tape, my boy. You just gotta chuck it. Shout out to the ginger-headed GOAT. I just want to say it was a 45-yard roughing in the kicker. Number 45 for the fucking Cardinals. I believe he got called for a rough. I think it was the Cardinals. Got called for a roughing in the kicker, bro. And the only reason I remember that shit is because I don't think I done seen a roughing in the kicker, at least in none of the games I done watched this year, or at least that I can remember, in a minute. At least not one that actually got called, because sometimes they pick the flag back up. So that shit was pretty crazy. It reminded me of Madden, bro, when motherfuckers try to injure your punter on Madden and shit, bro, or your kickers, bro. Indy, Houston, 31-0. Now, I was watching this game because I wanted to see if they got Jonathan Taylor involved, but I came away, Jonathan Taylor, yeah, I said that. I came away with something else. But listen, 31-0. I don't know if and I'm going to tell you, this is what's funny about when I watch games that involve the Texans. Every time I'm watching the Texans, I pay them no attention after a certain point. And so it's like I don't even realize what's going on, even when I'm watching them. I don't realize what they are doing, because it's like I'm not they watching me at some point in time, and then I completely turn back on when the other team get the ball back. It's funny how it worked. But it happened earlier in the season when they was playing the Browns, and Tyrod Taylor randomly got hurt, and I didn't even realize he was hurt until like 2 drives after I realized, yo, where the fuck is Tyrod? But that was kind of like this again. I don't know if he got hurt or if he just got benched. But at some point in time, I looked up and realized, is that fucking Davis Mills on the field? And yeah, it was. So I don't know what happened in that situation. I don't know how Davis Mills ended up getting. I'm not going to say Tyrod got hurt. I'm going to have to look, and I'll tell you on Thursday on the next podcast, because I don't remember how Tyrod got either he got hurt or benched. Either way, it made no difference. They did not score after that. They took a lot of sacks still. It's real funny how a lot of these fast quarterbacks take a lot of sacks this year, holding on to the ball too long and shit like that. But, bro, Kenny Moore had a nasty tiptoe interception, bro. That shit instantly just popped up in my head. I'm watching it, because they said it wasn't an interception at first. Then they showed the replay. I'm like, oh, this is one of them DBs who trying to prove he could have played receiver. I dig that shit. And shout out to the Colts defense, bro. I saw a stat that I think they said, and see, this is why I'm saying I'm confused, bro, where these motherfuckers just pull stats from anywhere. Because last week I was watching the broadcast and they was talking about how the Patriots defense had the most takeaways. Then I was watching the broadcast last week that said the Colts defense had the most takeaways. So all I know is the fucking Colts defense is very good at taking the fucking ball away from the other team. And they took the ball away 2 times to start this game. So shout out to the fucking Colts. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, that was about the time that I decided to start checking out for the Texans, bro. Because I was like, yeah, I see the type of game that this is about to be. And, bro, first let me shout out Dulane, bro. Let me shout out Dulane, because we finna talk about the receivers real fast. Dulane made and I don't even know if he is a receiver, tight end, running back, but I know he made a nasty motherfucking toe tap catch in the back of the end zone for the Carson Wentz. And that shit was disgusting. And I know it might look easy, but that was a tough catch. That shit was sick. But I want to talk about number 11, the motherfucker who refused to give his jersey to Carson Wentz, bro. Hey, Michael Pittman is going to be a stud. This dude is Michael Pittman's got great player, stud potential. Great player, stud potential. I like Michael Pittman, bro. I like Michael Pittman Jr., bro. It just feel like when Carson Wentz is on and he hitting, that motherfucking Michael Pittman Jr. is a problem. Like, double ones is a problem, but I like Michael Pittman Jr. I really think this motherfucker about to be an issue for teams. I really think this motherfucker is about to be an issue for teams, bro. Michael Pittman Jr. just seemed like they great play. They run great play. I can't even talk right now. They run great plays for him. He great at running his routes. He get open. He high point balls. He catch with his hands. He great at yak. Like, I like Michael. And he got some height on him. I like Michael Pittman Jr. That's what I was thinking the entire time I was watching this game. That's how you know I watched the game, because I was just obsessed, basically, watching everything Michael Pittman Jr. did in this game. Because he impressed me. He been impressing me all season, really. And if you watched the Pat McAfee show, you specifically was keeping an eye on him because of how much Pat talked about him not giving up his jersey. But, boy, I'm telling you, man, this motherfucker Michael Pittman Jr., this dude is, and I hope that's his first, I'm getting his first name right. But I like this motherfucker. Hey, great player, stud fucking potential, bro. I think this motherfucker got it. It's just every week, bro, he do something to make me like him even more, bro. Every week. He one of my favorite young receivers in the NFL right now. No cap. And while we on it, because you don't have to talk too much about the Texans, bro. I don't even know if David Culley will end up being the head coach for that team next year, to be honest with you, bro. It's a weird team in flux, basically, right now for Houston. I don't even know how they get people to show up to these games. But what I realize is, and I know they played against the fucking Texans. I get that. But when the Colts is on, this fucking team is on. Because they can throw it with Carson Wentz. They can run it with Jonathan Taylor and all those other running backs. They got great receivers who play well off each other. The play calling is great. I like the head coach, Frank Wright. The defense is great. Like, bro, the Colts could be a scary team. That make it even more confusing as to how they started the season off so bad. But, bro, the Colts could be a team that go, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like, it is no question to me who won that Eagles trade, bro. It was definitely the Colts, because I don't know if this is what I think about the Colts without Carson Wentz right now. Because as bad as, listen, for one, Carson Wentz ain't even logging. Well, he did turn the ball over a couple times last week and this week. But listen, he do got a lot of turnover-worthy plays this year. But it don't matter. The fact of the matter is, I think Carson Wentz, when he is on, because Carson Wentz done had moments this year where he looked like MVP Carson Wentz. And I think the play calling is definitely can do, like, bro, they work all three parts of the field. They not just trying to hit home run balls, even though they pretty good at hitting those and getting the flags when they don't. They great at running the ball with Frank Clark. They great at running the ball with Jonathan Taylor, and they got Naheem Hines in the backfield when he I think he fumbled this game, though, if I'm remembering correctly. But, bro, when the Colts is on and they clicking on all cylinders, bro, the Colts a dangerous fucking team. And now I see it. And so, with that, this is a really dangerous team in the AFC if they can, be clicking on all cylinders. And like I said, I know it was the fucking Texans. I get it. It was the Texans. But I'm just going on. I'm not even paying attention to the Texans. I'm just paying attention to the execution and shit. For one, the defense just hung a shutout. They just pitched a shutout. Defense didn't give up a single point in Houston. They wasn't even in Indy. They was in Houston. I don't care who you playing. You go into another team's stadium and you shut them motherfuckers out, hold them to 0, that's big time. So the defense, they did exactly what you want them to do. But the offense did too. They hung 31. 31 a lot of points. We're not finna sit here and act like 31 ain't a lot of points. That's a lot of points. So the Colts is a dangerous team, bro. Especially like I said, when the Colts is clicking on every single cylinder, all cylinders, that's a dangerous team. I don't know how you couldn't think so. Like, I don't know how you could look at that game and just be like, oh man, they playing Houston. Like, bro, the fucking I think Tennessee about to start losing down the stretch. Hey, I hope this don't turn into one of them situations where Indy end up regretting not starting so bad where that cost them. I hope that don't turn into that, because this is a good fucking team when they going. Tampa Bay, Atlanta. GOAT Brady against Matty Melted. 30-17. And it was a point in time in this game where it was competitive. It was 20-17 at one point in time. You thought that this was going to be a competitive game, and then it just wasn't anymore. It just wasn't. And Matt Ryan was sacked a lot of fucking times in this game. I think that motherfucker was sacked probably 6+ times. But I want to say something about that, because I was thinking this when I was watching Matt Ryan and when I watched Mike Glennon, I can't even remember what team Mike Glennon started for. We're going to get to it when we get to it. But Matt Ryan and Mike Glennon both had these plays. Matt Ryan do it on a weekly basis because I call it the Matt Ryan sack now. But where they think they more athletic than they are now, and so they run around, but they basically just run into the sacks, basically. Now, it's nothing like how Russell Wilson will legitimately run himself into a sack like he did against the 49ers. Like, Russell Wilson runs himself into big hits all the time. And I actually don't understand it, because he's great at sliding when he in the backfield. But when he is in the pocket, it's getting to the point where he got some of the worst pocket awareness I've ever seen out of a superstar quarterback. Because the way Russell Wilson will run himself into a big hit is unfathomable. But Matt Ryan and it's not the same with Matt Ryan. What Matt Ryan is doing is it's like they calling these run plays to the side for the quarterback to run to the side, but it'll already be a defender over there. And Matt Ryan will do like some half-hearted ass run over there, try to step back like he a young, elusive quarterback, like he trying to do a juke or something. And ultimately it always ends in a sack, or sometimes a sack fumble. I don't understand that play calling or the logic of the quarterback like a Matt Ryan agreeing to do that. Like, bruh, you're not Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, or none of these young elusive quarterbacks, Kyler Murray, bro. You're not none of those guys. Why is that a play call in the playbook, bro? And, since I talk about him so much, the tight end that they drafted first round that's not changing life for him. He had a great catch. If he could have kept his feet in, I don't even know if it was as great a catch as it was a great move. Yeah, it was a simple catch. I mean, I expect him to make that great catch, great snag with two hands. But the move he made after that almost got him up the sideline could have been a big play right there. Got to make that. GOAT Gonzalez would have made that. Rob Gronkowski would have made that. I know it's not fair to compare him to them. I'm not comparing him to them, bro. But he got drafted higher than all them motherfuckers, basically, I think, except for Tony G. And maybe he even got drafted higher than Tony G. I know he got drafted higher than Rob Gronkowski, because Gronk wasn't even a first-round pick, I don't believe. But, shout out to old man Brady. He gave the Falcons an easy-ass pick 6 after dominating early in this game. Like, it's like Tom Brady watched that game and saw Mac Jones throw 3 passes. Actually, there's no way he could have watched that game because that was on Monday. But it's just like he knew. It's just like he knew. He knew Mac Jones was going out there and about to put on a 3-pass performance. So he said, yeah, I'm about to light it up early. And light it up he did. I don't think, and I can't remember, I think Bruce Arians is the offensive coordinator for, along with, I can't remember my man's name. He a black man. I hate that I forgot his name. I think it's Ludwig. It's the offensive coordinator for the Cardinals. I mean, not for the Cardinals. Bruce Arians wear red everywhere because both his teams he played for was red. The Bucks. The offense, Brian, is it Ludwig? Bro, Brian and Bruce, bro. I think those 2 offensive play callers for the Bucks, along with Brady, because obviously you gotta let the GOAT have some insight, and some say. I just think they call great games. If Brady, listen, you can say what you want to about him having to dickety ducky sometimes. When that motherfucker go up and down the field and he decided to make them deep passes. That motherfucker Brady is very accurate, bro. And that's all I pay attention to it's not all I pay attention to, but that's what I notice when I'm watching Brady play. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker is deadly accurate. And you can say, well, Brady only accurate because he throwing 5-yard throws. Well, that's false. We're not in Wonderland anymore, honey. We're not in New England anymore. That's not. Yeah, Brady do that here and there to get his rhythm going and get back into his rhythm. That's just smart play calling, which a lot of other coordinators would call like that, start doing shit like that. And even in that, they still try to hit people deep down the field. And also, if you're letting Leonard Fournette run out of the backfield and plant himself and turn around 6 yards deep and let him pick up the extra 2 every time, or 3 or 4, that's your fault at a certain point in time. I mean, I can't stress that enough. And it felt like the Falcons let him do that multiple times. And shout out to the Falcons. The defense kept them in this game as long as they could and let the offense do what they do. But eventually the offense and Matty Milk going to do what they do. It is what it is. The Falcons are dead. You did not hear that here first. There's no shot. Other people have had to have told y'all that by now. The Falcons are fool's gold if you think that they are a winning team. No, this team is not going to be winning anytime soon, in my opinion. But I do like that defense at times. But GOAT Brady just got it done. And like I said, I wrote down in my notes, I was like, GOAT Brady slinging that shit. Because he is. Brady also winning MVP, bro. I don't know what the stats looking like completely right now. I don't really care. I just know he done thrown at least 30-something touchdowns at this point. Brady's winning the MVP. Mike Evans made a phenomenal... Bro, Chris Godwin is going to get paid. I know. I was watching Godwin make a lot. At one point in time in this game, Godwin had like fucking 9 targets, 8 catches, I believe. Chris Godwin had they don't even have AB right now, bro. All AB is going to do is get healthy, come back when the playoffs start, and make a bunch of catches and touchdowns, bro. Like, this fucking team is insane. Cameron Brate was making catches. They still got O.J. Howard. Gronk was balling the game. Every catch at one point in time Gronk had was a touchdown. Like, bro, this fucking Buccaneers team it's not often that I call them the Buccaneers. I usually just say Bucks or Tampa. Bruh, the Tampa Bay Gronkaneers, bro, are fucking, bro, that's the team, bro. That's the team to beat. Every time I watch them play, bro, it don't even matter the mistakes they make, because y'all already know I give Brady hella excuses because he the GOAT. But, bro, I just don't know who is beating this team to get to the Super Bowl, because I think they can beat the Packers. I think they can, and it's all coming down to Brady. The decision making, the mental game. I just think Brady is so much better than everybody else right now. And I used to didn't think this. I used to didn't think Brady was that much better than Aaron Rodgers. He's just in better situation. No. Brady is definitely the greatest quarterback that I have ever watched, bro. The man took out Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes was coming up through the ranks like a motherfucking bulldozer. And Brady said, yeah, but I'm a bigger bulldozer. And he ran that shit clean the fuck off the tracks. All I'm saying is, if you really look at it, Brady done caught, 2 rings at the expense of Pat Mahomes, because he stopped him from getting one. And he either won that one or lost to he lost that one to the Eagles, I believe. Or was that the one they beat the Falcons for? I can't remember. No, that's the one they lost to the Eagles, I believe, because the next year the Chiefs beat the 49ers. And then they lost the next year to the Bucks. But either way you look at it, he stopped Pat from getting 2 different rings. So, hey, man, that motherfucker Brady is the GOAT. I think Tampa Bay is a team to beat in the NFC officially. Now, every time I say a team is a team to beat in the NFC, they let me down. I know Brady not going to let me down. I just know. Brady, Bruce, it's a great coach team. The defense, bro, they was eating. And Dominican Sue had 2 sacks. Motherfucking Villa Veda did a belly swim, flop, whatever you want to call it, after a sack. That motherfucker Vita Vea a big dude, man. And I'm telling you, these sacks look monstrous, bro. Especially one of them that Ndamukong Suh had, where it felt like he just jumped on Buddy's back or whatnot. Hey, the Buccaneers are getting healthy. They're starting to catch their groove again. They starting to get their egos back. which they probably never lost. I mean, this is a Super Bowl team. They was pacing themselves, guys. They was just pacing themselves. They knew what this was. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I'm telling you, bro. The Bucks are, if you didn't already know, the Bucks are a dangerous team. But I'm telling you, bro, I think the Bucks is the best team in the NFC right now. This is the team I got. Now, I want to also say this: the best teams, like the rankings and shit, that shit doesn't matter. Like, I see a lot of fans get really disgusted and bothered by where their team ranked. This is what you got to understand: they're gonna rank your team, they're gonna lower your team after a loss, unless it's Patrick Mahomes in the beginning of the season, because they were still living on Pat Mahomes' past and wouldn't accept the fact that this was an off year for the kid. They don't have any faith in Lamar Jackson, so if they lose, they're going to drop them anyways because they didn't want to move them up to begin with. Josh Allen is a tricky one because you got a lot of media people who now I'm starting to realize was secretly hating on him, but forcing themselves to like him, who are now showing them their true colors. And you got some people who treat him like much like they treat like, oh, we love Josh Allen, so we don't really want to move the team. Or they got to use the excuse of the defense is so good and shit like that. The rankings don't matter, though, at the end of the day. Because when you get to the playoffs, that's the best teams, and anybody can fucking win it. Especially in the AFC, where people keep saying, oh, no team is taking control. No, it just means it's a lot of parity, and it's tough to beat these teams in the AFC on a weekly basis. That's why you got to get the wins that you can get. A month ago, we thought the Dolphins were a bad team. The Dolphins are not a bad team, clearly. Now, I know what some people are going to say, oh, well, they beating a lot of bad teams. Bruh, the Dolphins lost to bad teams in the beginning of the season also. So I don't want to hear that shit. The Dolphins are now a competitive team. So the AFC is a tough division. It's not that no team can get a hold of the division. It's just tough to beat these teams on a week-to-week basis, man. These some good teams in the AFC right now. And then the NFC is very top-heavy right now. But, like I said, Tampa Bay got the big dubs. I love Tampa Bay right now, bro. Detroit, Minnesota. Good Lord have mercy, bro. Fuck Minnesota, man. So Detroit will no longer be able to go 0-17 because of the Steelers. And they would not be able to announce. I know somebody going to hear that and be like, oh, well, that team that just tied with the Detroit just beat y'all. Touche. And because of the Vikings, they can no longer go 0-16 and 1. Now, I know it's the Detroit fans saying, well, the same team. Nah, you can't say that because we beat y'all bitches. But Minnesota, what happened? For one, Minnesota was down in this game for the longest. They made a comeback because Jared Goff going to do what Jared Goff going to do. Now, I do want to give Jared Goff some credit because he did make the game-winning touchdown throw, and he had some good throws in this game. Why they allowed him to start going off script a little bit, making a few more decisions, don't know. That never works out. I don't know when these dudes going to learn. Jared Goff is what he is. Baker Mayfield is what he is. Every time you try to extend it, oh, he playing pretty good. Let me see. You pay for it. I mean, Jared Goff, it felt like Jared Goff had two turnovers. Jared Goff had 2 turnovers in the fourth quarter. It felt like they was trying to lose this game at one point in time, but they figured this thing out. And, hey, maybe they should have lost it. But on this day, and I don't know how happy the Detroit people in Detroit is, because if they find a way to get another win, now they're competing with the fucking 2-win Jags to see who get the first pick in the draft. Maybe it don't matter. Maybe they don't care who get the first pick in the draft. But what I do know is Goff felt like he was trying to lose in this game in that fourth quarter. And then with 4 seconds left, of course, he throws a touchdown. I don't know what the fuck is going on with the Vikings, bro. And I do want to... Now, obviously, I believe this is everybody probably getting fired at the end of the season type of L, because this probably solidified you ain't making the playoffs. It's very hard for me to see the team that lost to Detroit making the playoffs or going anywhere in the playoffs if they do find a way to make it. It's very hard for me to see Mike Zimmer coming back at the end of the season after this type of loss. But, hey, because this is the type of loss that people really use to paint your whole season with at the end of the season. But who knows, especially if they the only team that lose to Detroit this season. That'll really be rough. But, man, the Vikings are a hard team to figure out, bro, because they got all the weaponry. You look at the team, you say, man, they got what they need to be successful on offense, but sometimes they just get so stagnant. They get so confused and so lost, and Kirk becomes so inaccurate and erratic, and I don't know what to fucking say about this team, man. The Vikings is one of the biggest mysteries because I think they got great pieces on defense. At a certain point in time, I'm starting to believe that Harrison Smith might not finish his career with the Vikings. I think it's time for a change. I like Mike Zimmer, but yeah, it might be time for a change. Because I don't, and it's not just this loss. It's the last couple years. I mean, you had, maybe your peak was those playoff runs. I mean, I really don't know at this point in time. Like, you could make the excuse, oh, well, he have gotten into the playoffs a couple times. He then got out of the first round a couple times. Maybe we just a couple pieces away. And, hey, maybe I'm inclined to believe that. Maybe you could convince me on that. Because, like I said, I don't know where I'm at with the Vikings right now. Because I don't know how they struggle so often on offense. And then they figure how to hit the switch. But then it ultimately costs them again. Because they hit the switch too late. And you don't think it's going to cost you against Detroit, and it end up costing you against Detroit. It's wild, bro. You really can't really explain it. You can't really. It is very confusing. Justin Jefferson, Dalvin when he healthy, a decent tight end, even though you did trade Rudolph. I mean, Adam Thielen. I do not fully understand why the Vikings struggle the way they do. I really don't. And then, this is more proof to the people who like to say stats don't matter. Yeah, most of the time, and sometimes they don't. Because, I mean, you look at some of these games Kirk Cousins lose, and he got the gaudiest looking stats. And at the end of the day, they didn't mean shit, really. So, yeah, and to Kirk Cousins, it is weird that Kirk Cousins have a lot of these games where they do lose the games, and he got good stats. And it be feeling like sometimes, because I actually had somebody tell me this, and I've heard somebody say this. It's like a mix of he throw the ball a lot because they down a lot, and sometimes that do lead to them taking the lead because defenses will take their foot off the gas. But then ultimately he'll do something that'll cost him the game. And I don't know if it's always that, but I know you can't. He got to have some type of. I blame play calling and shit like that sometimes. But man, I don't really know what to do with the Vikings. I'm going to have to go back and watch this team because this is just confusing to me. They take so long to get going sometimes. Like, I don't. Justin Jefferson is a great receiver. Thielen's a great receiver. And then another thing that's crazy is when the Vikings actually going, they calling up good plays and going. Kirk Cousins be having dudes wide open in the middle of the field and shit sometimes. The routes that these receivers run be to perfection. So I don't understand how they hit the pause button so many times. It's confusing. Chargers, Cincy, though. We own. We're on to Cincinnati. Yeah, but we're on to Cincinnati. Wait, but Bill, we're on to Cincinnati. And on to Cincinnati we are. Cincinnati Chargers. This is why I defend my guys, bro. Because, you see, Chargers, Cincy. Justin Herbert. He started this game hot. He started this game on fire. And they won 41-22. But listen, at one point in time in this game, because I watched this game. At one point in time in this game, it was what, fucking 20-0? Or what was it? No, it was 24-0. It was 24-0 at one point in time in this fucking game, bro. And the fucking Bengals scored 22 unanswered points. And could have tied the game if not for the fact that they didn't convert the 2-point conversion. This is what I'm saying when I had this dude get at me about the Justin Herbert thing, saying, oh, Justin Herbert don't play bad. Look at his numbers. This is what I'm saying. That's how you know people not watching these full games. Because Justin Herbert, at one point in time in the season, they was number one in the AFC West. They're no longer number one in the AFC West. And they're now having to fight for each win at the end of the season because of how bad they played and how Justin Herbert was dealing with some of his struggles in that little patch of games after that Baltimore game and the Baltimore game and after. Listen, I love Justin Herbert. I think he's one of the young stud quarterbacks in the NFL. That's why he was in the video. But this is very confusing how the Chargers can... No, it's not confusing to me, actually. Because the Chargers have these things where they so great early, right? Or they have these parts of the game where they can light your ass up. And then they have these parts of the game where they just cannot figure out how to get a first down. And that's because they cannot run the ball consistently. Now, the Chargers defense is not a good defense, and a lot of people will attest to that. But they can play up sometimes to the competition. They wake up to play sometimes. And they woke up to play in this one, even though they had help from a fumble that I don't know how Joe Mixon dropped that ball. And the Joe Mixon fumble really was a game changer because it was a close game after that, and then once he fumbled that, it was over. They scooped that up, went right in to score a 3-and-out later. No, I think Joe Burrow ended up trying to take them down the field, and he threw that interception. But listen, before we get to the interception, this is what I'm saying about the Chargers. The Chargers got to clean this shit up, man, because, yeah, they're an explosive team. They hung 24-0 on you before you even blinked. But that was in the second quarter. They fell asleep at the gas in the third quarter, and the Bengals came back, and in some of that second quarter. And that's what I'm saying. The Chargers had these games like where they against I don't know how you could say Joe Herbert had been perfect when he done had a game that he had in with the Ravens, and then last week against the Broncos. When you win games, I know you like, oh, you won 41-22, so it's not much. But if you take away the fumble, it's probably not this big of a margin. And they could possibly end up losing this game based on how they started to get shaky in this game. But it's confusing when you look at this team because, yeah, they got all... Now, you talk about a team with weapons. This team has weapons. But I always come back to Austin Eckler. For one, this motherfucker fumbled the ball twice. Now, you could say if he don't have them 2 fumbles, then maybe the game never get close. However, it was a 2 fumble and an interception that helped the fucking Bengals get back into this game. And you need breaks like that. So that's a shout out to the defense. Also, before I forget, Hendrickson, that motherfucker, I remember him because he the one who taunted Villanueva. Motherfucker on an 8-game sack streak, bro. So shout out to that motherfucker, bro. Shout out to that motherfucker. The Ravens need a fucking Hendrickson. And I think his name Trey Hendrickson. I can't remember all the way. I didn't even write his first name down. But I didn't even look at the paper to get that information. I already knew that. Because like I said, I watched this game. But while I was watching this game, since we're talking about a dude who sacked quarterbacks, I think all these young quarterbacks just take way too many hits. And some of them is actually because of them. Like, I saw Joe Burrow. Now, sometimes Joe Burrow just don't have a fucking shot. Like, as soon as he hiked the ball, the defense is in the backfield. Like, the Ravens and the Bengals need to invest in the offensive line in the offseason, bro. There's no two ways around. I understand. And see, the Bengals is lucky because the Bengals basically have every position on their team damn near set except for that offensive line. The Ravens need help on the defensive side of the ball and probably some more offensive help. But the receivers need, the offensive line, to have your quarterback drop back and immediately get blitzed and have people, and you know what's funny? You got these bozo, analysts and fans who will say, well, you need to know how to beat the blitz. Man, some of these motherfuckers is legitimately coming through untouched in quarterbacks' faces 3 at a time. And yeah, they need to hurry up and make a play. But if they throw a pick right there, you're going to be complaining. Like, man, stop it, bro. The fact that some of these quarterbacks can make big plays with this blitz coming on like that is amazing, bro. But some of the hits that these dudes take, and it feel like every week I see Justin Herbert take a sack that he don't have to take, or not even that he don't have to take, a sack that's made worse because he won't go down. You got somebody hanging onto his legs, and then somebody come up and drill him from the top. Like, I watched this game thinking to myself, man, a lot of these young quarterbacks might take some big injuries in their career. Kyler Murray already done been consistently injured every year in his career. But now I'm thinking like, man, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, man, they taking some fucking shots. Josh Allen took a big shot the other night, bro. Like, Pat Mahomes taking some shots. Like, these quarterbacks taking a lot of big shots. And to Pat Mahomes' credit, that motherfucker would rather throw an interception than take a shot, even though sometimes he be still taking the hit while throwing the pick. But man, yeah, some of these young quarterbacks, I think too many of our young stud quarterbacks is taking too many hits, bro. Too many. I want these motherfuckers to be around for a long time, man, but it feels like they are taking a lot of big fucking hits. But the Campbell scoop and score really changed this game with mixing fun with it. But like I said, the Chargers had opportunities to lose this game when they went on a little 3-run streak of turnovers, and the Bengals was capitalizing. I think the Bengals, man, it's weird because, you know, you blow out the Steelers this last week, you lose to the Chargers this week. You blow out the Ravens one week, you get blown out by the Browns the next week. The Browns was the most confusing one to me. I really, truly could not understand how they got their asses beat by the Browns like that. Cause that one was shocking. But a big win for the Chargers. They needed it. Cincinnati is very confusing. They lucky because Baltimore lost, but man, it's great to lose and have Baltimore lose on the same week because that means Baltimore didn't pick up another game on you. But the Steelers won, meaning that they picked up a game. So NFC North going to be a interesting finish. Giants, Dolphins. Now New York had Mike Glennon play because Daniel Jones out right now. I'm not finna talk about this game too much. The Giants lost 9-20. I wanted to say in this game, Tua look good. You look good. Tua look good to me, man. And now Miami competing. Made some good throws. I like some of the play calling. I think Tua gonna be better than people expect, man. I think Tua's going to be better than people expect. The Jags got their asses beat by the Rams 7-37. Matt Stafford did not throw a pick six, so I was wrong about that one. He did not throw a pick six. The Jags. We talk about how bad that coaching staff and the offense is every week. The head coach Urban looked like a fucking cheerleader this week. I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but what I am gonna say is, you want more proof that this is just an atrocious offense that actually could probably run the ball if they decided to dedicate themselves to running the ball and, you know, letting Trevor Lawrence play off of that. Go watch the game again. The best parts of the game is when they actually decide to run the ball. Other than that, they always look confused and dumbfounded on offense. So, like I said, pray for Trevor Lawrence. San Fran, Seattle, 23-30. San Fran, this one was in Seattle. Seattle picked up the win, 30-23. Needed it. Hey, I wrote down in my notes, I was like, yo, is Russ back? Now, I know he had that little interception. Now, that wasn't his fault. But the 73-yard fake fucking punt for a touchdown, that lets you know that the Seattle was desperate and they doing anything they can to win these fucking games at this point. They don't know if Russ gonna have it the rest of the season. We don't know how many points Russ gonna be able to put up, so we got to take shots and chances where we can. We don't know how healthy Russ is. And to Pete Carroll's credit, I mean, he had an interview where he was like, no, Russ is good. Because the dude was trying to insinuate, dude, Russ need more time off. And he was like, no, Russ is good. He's playing. If he needed more time off, we would have known. He would have told us. Respect to that, because these goofy-ass reporters always asking these bozo-ass questions. But, bro, Russ had a great game. Russ looked great, right? Russ looked like his finger getting healthy. He getting healthy. Him and Tyler Lockett had some of them connections again, man. I just fuck with Tyler Lockett so heavy, bro. I do want to say this, bro. Jimmy Garoppolo, man. You know, he make the touchdown throw over bruh head. Beautiful touchdown throw. You like, okay, I like that, Jimmy. And then, you know, he got these picks where he just throw it right to the fucking other team, bro. And I just don't understand Jimmy Garoppolo. Because this is Jimmy Garoppolo's entire career. Like, we ain't dealing with no rookie quarterback or no young quarterback that's not even 5 years as a full starter yet. We dealing with a dude that's done been in this league for a minute now. Injuries and all that shit aside, he done had enough time to have experience and all this type of shit. I don't understand how this motherfucker is so I mean, at this point, yeah, it's erratic at times, but he just come back and makes such great throws. And I know, obviously, I look at this team and I'm like, man, what play calling? Like, if Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, no, we talking about if Lamar Jackson had fucking Kyle Shanahan, good Lord have mercy, that would be an unbelievable offense. But it's just so weird, bro, because Kyle Shanahan do make Garoppolo look good at times with some of the play calls and shit. And you just see Garoppolo do make some of these good, like, tight throws sometimes, and then he just turn around and make a bozo throw. And you just like, man, what the fuck, man? And they had an opportunity at the end of this game. They couldn't convert it. They couldn't get into the end zone. But just a... Oh, and shout out to Adrian Peterson, bro. 10th in touchdowns all time. Tied with Jim Brown, I believe it is. So shout out to AP all day. And back to the fucking 49ers, bro. It's just very confusing, bro, with Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, I hope they really develop in Trae Young because, man, this Jimmy Garoppolo experience kind of done tired out for me, bro. Like, the dude just just a confusing quarterback to figure out, to be completely honest with you, if I'm keeping it a band with you. I can't figure this motherfucker out to save my life. Like, it's just he made good throws sometimes, and then on the same drive, like I say, next play, pick, it's just very confusing. And I don't know, and he shouldn't have this hero complex where he feel like he got to be the hero, because he ain't never had to be the hero. So it's just, I'm confused, but it's a big L for the 49ers, who was going in a good direction, man. They had so much steam. And they even put up 23 points in this game, but I guess they just didn't expect Russ Wilson to be back. And this is why you can't bet against the GOATs. So that was on me for betting against against one of the GOATs. And I know we throw this word GOAT around a lot, but understand, maybe I should change that term, but the GOAT is Tom Brady. The GOAT is Tom Brady. When I say one of the GOATs, that's not the same GOAT as a Tom Brady. That's one of the legends, one of the future legends. Unless I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers, then yeah, that's one of the GOATs, like a Favre, Breeze, Peyton. Even though I kind of put Peyton up there with Tom Brady, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Tom Brady, Peyton, man, and I see no difference. But George Kittle was still a fucking monster, bro. George Kittle was still a fucking monster. And I know he not going. I don't know why I'm even finna say this. I know he ain't going nowhere. Motherfucker already done got paid and shit. But boy, oh boy, he look good in that black. And purple. And gold sometimes when we got it. Baltimore need to get some gold jerseys, actually. That should be tough. Some black and gold jerseys, or some purple and golds, but not like the color ones, not like the all purple with a little bit. I'm talking about all gold ones. But and shout out to Bobby Wagner, who had an interception, bro. I gotta shout out Bobby Wagner anytime he do something great, bro. Because for one, I fuck with Bobby Wagner. Two, I want him to be a Raven next year. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I want it to happen. But, bro, I literally wrote down in my notes, Garoppolo, hard to figure out. Like I was just saying. And that's before I even looked at these notes. I was telling you that. And then I just looked at my notes and I realized, yeah, I wrote down Garoppolo, hard to figure out. Because that motherfucker's a tough one to figure out. But, hey, we hop into, Jesus Christ. We hop into Washington, Vegas. 17-15, man. Hey, shout out to Washington. They got the win. Taylor Heineke at one point in time in this game, though, was 14 for 19 for 97 yards. And that was that was like in the fourth quarter. And then at one point in time in this game, because I'm not biased, Derek Carr was 16 of 20 for 90 yards. So that just show you the type of offensive games that was going on in this one. I understand why Washington run that type of offense. That's pretty much been Washington all year. And I know what to expect when I'm watching Tyler Heineke. It's a dude who can roll out pretty efficiently sometimes when he roll out. It's a dude who gonna hit you for the dink and dunks here and there. If you give him the opportunity, he gonna get you deep with McLaurin, or a semi deep shot. You let him break something big, they gonna get you. He can get outside the pocket and make a play here and there. So I know what to expect from them. But for the most part, their offense is a very basic, dink and dunk type of offense. I know what to expect from Washington. The fucking Raiders, I cannot figure out. because now the noise for you got to get rid of Derek Carr is very loud. But like I said, I don't know who you get rid of him for unless Aaron Rodgers agreeing to come there or Russell Wilson. You can get him there. Now Russell Wilson would be a good one. Vegas is a big enough town for Russ and Sierra. That would be a good one. But I don't know who you get rid of him for, to be completely honest with you. And like I said before, if this is we just want to start fresh, get a young quarterback in here and try to build, I get that. But, man, can we keep giving Vegas the excuse that, the Henry Ruggs thing, the John Gruden thing? Because they look bad on offense. I'm not going to lie. They look bad on offense. And at this point, sometimes I don't even know if Darren Waller is playing how bad because he can't get it to Darren Waller sometimes. Like, man, this is... And to my boy's credit, he did start to get it going towards the end of the game. Like, he started finally hitting some passes, but it was just too late. It was too late because because this felt like a Vikings game. But because Washington was able to ultimately capitalize at the end of the game. Like, the first touchdown for the Raiders came with 10:57 left in the fourth quarter. I don't know what's going on, man, with the Raiders, bro. This is a team you feel like they should be able to beat, right? Especially they beat the Cowboys. You feel like this is a team that they should be able to beat. And hey, this is confusing. I'm not gonna lie, because the Raiders lost to the Giants, didn't they? So they done lost to the Giants, if I'm not mistaken. The Washington football team. Yeah, I knew what I was almost about to say. And Dallas. Who the last team in that division? The Eagles. Man, have they played the Eagles and beat them yet, or did they lose to them? I can't remember, but Jesus Christ, man, this is one of the worst divisions in football. No, they beat the Cowboys. They beat the best team in the division and can't beat the other teams in the division. That's weird, man. That is weird. I don't know what's going on with my boy Carr, man. Maybe we underestimated how good him and John Gruden work together. Because the offense ain't looked as good as it was with John Gruden now. And it even looked bad with Gruden at sometimes because I thought he had some archaic-ass play calling. But, man, this is rough if you're a Raider fan because now it's officially confirmed. It's the same old fucking Raiders. My uncle is so sad. And he was so happy to start the year. He was so happy. He a big Raider fan. So happy. He thought they beat my team to start the year. He thought there was so much good coming from this year. And in a matter of a month and a half, they've broken my uncle's heart. He might take his flag down in the front yard. He not, but that is just unbelievable what's going on with the Raiders right now. And I like the Raiders too. I can't explain to you really right now why I like the Raiders. I'm not a Raider fan, but I do like the Raiders for some reason. It's not because of maybe it is because of my uncle, but it just sucks. I don't think I would really care about him if they didn't have Derek Carr. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. But man, what a shame. But you want to know what's crazy? I think if Derek Carr, this is the thing. I don't think the Raiders need to get rid of Derek Carr. I think the Raiders need to invest in a super offensive-minded head coach that could come in there and legitimately turn it around for Derek Carr and get him playing top-notch again. Because I think that's what he's missing. See, John Gruden, we can say he's a good offensive coordinator. The man hadn't been in the game in, 2 decades plus? I don't know how great of an offensive coordinator he was. It felt like sometimes he was learning on the fly and trying to develop some of his old archaic-ass play calling. I feel like if you get Derek Carr, and maybe Derek Carr end up in Cleveland. If he ended up in Cleveland, that would be, I don't think he would want to move to Cleveland after living in Vegas and LA, but excuse me. But it'd be an interesting option if they decide to go away from Derek Carr, but I don't really know who you go away from Derek Carr for, so that's what's interesting to me. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint podcast. We broke down the Week 13 matchups, man. I'm going to be back to break down the upcoming matchups for Week 14. Oh. I did not break down the Ravens game, and I just realized that. That was not intentional. I did not write that game down. Listen, The offense for the Ravens. We can't go yet. I got to talk about them. The offense for the Ravens, man, it looks atrocious. Ever since the Indy game, hasn't looked like a good offense. And like I said, y'all already know who I blame. Yeah, I'm going to give Lamar his blame here and there. He got kind of reckless. But like I said, the quarterbacks who try to make hero plays and throw interceptions are the same quarterbacks who had to be heroes most of the time. They've had to be better than everything around them to help their team win. So I can't be happy when he making all these superhero type plays and they work, and then get pissed off and mad and bitchy when they don't work. Can't do that. I also can't get mad at John Harbaugh for going for 2 and it not working when he go for 2 all the time, or he go for the win with Lamar Jackson and it does work. You can't have it both ways. You got to take the good with the unfortunate. Shit happens. It's football. These motherfuckers get paid too on the other side. So, shout out Pittsburgh, man. Y'all know, if y'all watch the podcast, listen to the podcast, I show Pittsburgh a lot of respect and love. I told you Pittsburgh's not dead yet. It was getting kind of strange there for a second. Ben announced that he was about to retire. I remember when I was but a young buck praying for days like this, and now I really can't believe it that Big Ben is about to retire. So, shout out to him. I know I talk a lot of shit about him. We'll continue to talk a lot of shit about him, but what a career. What a career. Gonna be difficult for him to get that first ballot Hall of Fame nod, but what a career. TJ Watt, stud. And that's how we gonna end it. So, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint podcast, breaking down these Week 13 matchups. I'm going to be back this week. Hey, share the podcast. Subscribe to the channel. Like it up. I appreciate y'all, man. Tell somebody you fuck with them and love them, man. Saint out.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these 2 words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps because they know what happens next. So without further ado, free smoke. Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to